Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of Entropia content. Now I've seen someone just running to go pick up the oil, so I'm not going to check that out first. First thing I gotta do is swing by my shop and do some upgrades. I don't think I've seen anyone put any comments in yesterday's episode. Sorry yesterday, I was really down in the dumps. But today I'm doing a lot better. Everything got resolved with my roommates. I don't have to move, so I still have a place. It's just making me a lot more cheerful. As much as it really wouldn't be the end of the world to have to go up north and stay up there, I'm actually kind of looking forward to when that happens one day, so we'll see. I'm gonna plan it better though. So not that I force myself to go there and have to stay there and have nowhere else to go. What I've really decided to do now was actually good news. Instead of building a pool house or a shed here in the city, I'm just gonna do it up north. Gonna tear down my old garage or tear down most of it and just gut it and rebuild it. I was gonna do that with my house, but I can't do a demolition myself on a scale that big on a house like that, so but on a shed to demolish it and rebuild it should be doable. So I'm gonna try working on that in my spare time. I don't know how long it's gonna be before the lockdown's over and I'll be able to start traveling up north, but I figure that's a better plan. At least that way, when I ever get into big problems with my roommates again, I can just be like, alright guys, I'm going up north, see you later. Then they'll have like a... They won't be able to hold that over my head and always be trying to control me and everything I do and treating me like garbage every day, because they'll be like, holy shit, he actually has somewhere else he can go now. And I don't really want to store stuff in my garage up north. But I'm thinking, man, if I could make it just empty and have a place that I could stay, like maybe have a desk, electricity hooked up, and internet options, that'd be fucking sweet. But yeah, and there's a company in Mississauga that makes off-grid toilets. What they did is they designed a toilet that works on electricity, and you don't need plumbing. So what happens is, yeah, I don't know. It's weird to think you don't need any plumbing, because I was thinking, wouldn't you want some water? So it must require water. I'll have to check into that. But anyways, how it works is electricity and it requires no sewage. So what it does is it fills up a tank with your waste, boils it off into steam. Or first, yeah, boils off all the water. And then once it's no water left in it, it burns it. And then it has an ash container that you have to empty every, I guess, few weeks or whatever, once there's too much ash in it. They said ash is a lot easier to dispose of rather than having to have no sewage access. Which I do have a sewage line right next to my garage, so maybe one day I'll just hook up to it. It's actually not a bad idea. And my abandoned house still has a working washroom, so I guess I could just fix up the garage and use the washroom in the abandoned house. It is haunted. Who knows? Going to the washroom in a haunted house might not be the greatest. But yeah, I started making some changes to the show. I'm trying to get it up to 1080 resolution. Because I noticed when I watched the show replay on a big TV, I'm like, holy god, it looks awful. So 720 really sucks balls. Not in a good way. I'm trying to bump it up to at least 1080. That's one thing I give XSplit credit, man. They allowed you not only to go 720, 1080, but they even allowed you to stream in 4K. And I've got all the camera equipment that's up to 4K. My computer can handle 4K. The only thing that was killing me was the hard drive space for 4K. Was it like 60 gigs for a minute or something? So what I did is last night I took the plunge and invested some more money into the show, which I always say I'm never going to do again because I keep investing thousands into it and never getting anywhere. But this time I invested 400 bucks and got a 10 terabyte hard drive. So yeah, I'm going to put the 10 terabyte hard drive in my computer. It says it's solid state, which I don't believe them, but maybe we'll see. I was just looking at the write and read speeds. It didn't seem like it was solid state speeds. The only thing I'm thinking is maybe because it's 10 terabytes that it might actually be a little bit slower just because of the size. I don't know. What I'm hoping to do, shut up phone, is I'll be able to not only install the 10 terabyter, but keep the 1 terabyte solid state in it. I can't believe I put a 1 terabyte solid state in my computer. What a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have at least put a 2 terabyte. I guess maybe when I put it in, 1 terabyte seemed like a lot. Yeah, it's funny how your mind gets crazy ideas when you put it in. Alright, time to get my mind out of the gutter. No, so what I did this time is I tried flawless recording, which I wish it would just list the resolution. It's like flawless compared to your stream. It's like, well, yeah, maybe I'll have to adjust the stream settings or something. I don't know. But it seems dumb when you're doing local recordings. Why am I adjusting the video settings for a stream? Oh well, whatever works. And today's the big UFC fights. Oh yeah, and another good news I had yesterday. In order to free up some hard drive space, I reinstalled everything onto my NVIDIA Shield and deleted the backup that I had on my computer. And that freed up almost 300 gigs. So I'm hoping it'll be enough to record today's episode. I wish it gave you an estimate file size so I could see what it's coming out as. It said larger file size instead of medium, whatever the hell that fucking means. Yeah, so trying to be more optimistic. As much as the bad shit happened this week, constantly yelling, I think everything's resolved now, so I'm cheered up. Oh yeah, man, did I ever have a funny experience yesterday? Remember I was like, oh, what a great idea, I'll do some rollerblade filming. I don't know if it's my concussion or what happened to my balance, but I used to be able to ride rollerblades doing jumps and everything. So I was like, I could go in half pipes, anything. I was like a pro at rollerblading. Popped on the new rollerblades yesterday, tried them out. They were so fucking, I don't know if it's brand new bearings. That must be what it is, I'm hoping. But the bearings were so fast. It was like standing on, like, you know, sometimes when you go into an ice rink with skates, and if they're a little bit dull, it's kind of easy to skate, but harder to get good grip on the ice. So when you go and you get your blade sharpened, and then after you get your blade sharpened, you slide way easier, and it's a little bit harder to keep your balance until you get used to it. Well, holy fuck. With these new bearings or new rollerblades, it was like standing on the slipperiest surface I've ever stood on. I couldn't ride the rollerblades at all. It's like I tried to get from my car or my roommate's car to the end of the driveway, almost wiped out like 3 times. I was like, holy fuck, there's no way I'm going to be able to film and ride these. I can barely even stand in them. So I think what I'll have to do is take the rollerblades to a trail that's really flat, like the one behind my house, and just go fucking slow as molasses for like a few hours up and down the trail until I get my balance back. Hopefully I can get it back. It's like it was so off, I'm like, holy fuck, man, I can't even stand, let alone trying to stop or anything. And for how fast they were, I was like, holy shit, these are the fastest rollerblades I've ever put on. So maybe it's just rollerblade technology has changed a lot. I haven't rode a pair of rollerblades that isn't like 20 years old, so maybe that's what it is. The new bearing technology is fucking amazing. Or I guess it could just be because it's like 5-6 years since I rollerbladed last time, but I was thinking there should be no way. I was like going up and down huge steep hills, going off jumps, landing everything, never wiping out. Now I can't make it to the end of the fucking driveway. It would have been so funny if people were watching me. They'd be like, whoa, are you rollerblading for the first time? I'd be like, no, actually I've been rollerblading for my whole life. I used to rollerblade for hours every night. I turned almost pro. Now I can't even ride them. I don't know, the only thing I was thinking, maybe the concussion threw my balance off a lot more than I realized. Like normally walking around and stuff, I guess usually doesn't use much balance, but man, rollerblading uses a lot of balance and my balance is fucked. But the good news is, yeah, I'm gonna just, I guess, pump more money into that broken bike. Get a new tire tube. And then after the new tire tube comes, I'll maybe, yeah, try to get a new outside tire shell too. And then I'll put that on the rim. I don't know, maybe I'll switch back to the old rim. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to try to get the vlogging series going with that. And even if I wanted to film today, my vlogging camera's busted. I spent the last 2 days trying to fix it. All the features just stopped working on it. Like, I can't even get the gimbal to spin anymore. And you can probably tell last video I was doing so many clicks because sometimes it just wasn't wanting to work. And it's so annoying. They made the camera button to spin the camera. You have to click it 3 times. I'm like, okay, that's annoying as fuck, but... And then when you listen to it on the video, they made a clicking noise on the button right next to the microphone. Like, if you're going to put a button that you have to use while filming right next to the microphone, you think you'd get rid of the clicking feature, right? I don't know. Seems like fucking common sense to me, but apparently that's like a mind-blowing concept to the camera makers. Yeah, so the Karaka print, let's check it out. That whole 1000 ped crafting run, this is the only Karaka print that I got. And the markup is maintaining decently, so I think maybe that's what the game realized. Hey, give less of these prints until we get Never Die's teleport token system in. Because, man, they're not going to sell too good. What did the Karaka look like? I even forget, eh? Alright, so all this shit didn't sell at all in my booth in Camp Crunk, so I'm picking it all up. I'll put different items for you guys. I guess no one wants these blueprints. I'll go sell them on Calypso. And let's stack some more of the other blueprints. Oh yeah, the Rotec vehicle battery. That was sweet that I got some copies of that. I'll have to message my Russian connection and tell them that I got some more vehicle battery prints for them. Yeah, so I hope everyone else is doing well. I think what it is the lockdown stress, especially like you can't hang out with anyone else but the people you live with, and that really gets annoying after a while. My situation, people get annoyed with me after a couple days, let alone months of it. Boots, striped carpet. Here we are, leggings. Leggings. Alright, so which one was the leggings? Colors. What the hell? The leggings are no longer colorable or colored. They're everything now. Is that true? Or it must be just... must have another copy. Yeah, there is another copy. Sickin' boy, that'd be weird. Alright, check it out. My leggings print already has 25 clicks. Shame it's still worth quite a bit. 22,000. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, so I've been working on installing my NVIDIA Shield and got the controller working for it. I bought the new NVIDIA controller. Man, is the new NVIDIA controller amazing in your hands? The only thing that's weird with it is it fucking weighs like a ton of bricks. I don't know what the hell they put in it. Concrete or something? But I don't mind a heavier controller. I'm just thinking, geez, compared to the Sony, it's like maybe 5 times the weight. I'll have to weigh it and compare the difference. Now, the main thing that got me over the little being down in the dumps yesterday, too, was I went for a good old jog at my old elementary school's track that we used to use to train for track and field. It's technically not a track, it's just a Mr. Chadwick, our teacher, gave us a destination. He's like, okay, here's the track. And he like got everyone to like memorize this route through the cemetery. He's like, it works out to exactly 2 kilometers. I want you guys to jog it once every day. Man, I tried jogging that track, 2 kilometers. First half went pretty good. But man, the second half I needed 3 breaks to finish, so it wasn't that great. But man, good workout. Got my mind from feeling off like shit. Yeah, and I'm ever looking forward to watching some of the sports that are on today. Geez, that Habib Justin Gaethje's fight is gonna definitely be fun to watch. If I had to guess, Habib's probably gonna beat him by knockout because Justin just kind of puts his chin out forwards and plows through people, and I don't think that strategy is gonna work too good with Habib. But I seen Khabib cheat at the weigh-in yesterday. That was kind of funny. He tried as hard as he could to make weight, so he had to strip completely naked. He couldn't even wear shorts. And they had the fighters hold the towel up for him, and they had to hold him up because he was so weak he couldn't stand. And when the scale was going, they recorded the weight before it even stopped moving. So everyone's like, hey guys, you have to wait for the scale to balance before you declare the weight. Because if it's still swinging, there's like it was swinging in the direction that he was overweight. So a lot of people caught that to like, hey man, the UFC is cheating to help Khabib win. And I was noticing that too. UFC, not to have the victimhood thing, but they need fighters from other countries to hype up so that they can do a big match of like US versus Canada, or US versus Russia. So they'll like hype up fighters from different countries. And they do that a lot with Russian fighters. I'm not sure why. Maybe because Russian versus the States gets good ratings. So with Khabib, his whole career, they've been cherry picking his fights, giving him guys on the verge of retirement, putting him up against Conor McGregor, who anyone could beat. Conor McGregor, I think, got lucky twice. I don't know how. Maybe he even paid them to take a dive. But anyways, anytime he fights someone real, he gets his ass beat hardcore. He's like one of the worst fighters the UFC has. And then Justin Gaethje's, he had to beat Tony Ferguson to get his interim belt. So it's like Justin Gaethje's, I look at him and say his belt is actually worth way more than the one that Khabib has. Khabib beat a whole bunch of nobodies on the verge of retirement. Well, he beat some good names, but that's how they do it. Same thing with Floyd Mayweather. They'll get him to fight someone who's really good name, but on the verge of retirement. So it's like they're looking for their last payday, not really trying. And then, boy, does it ever make the other fighter look good. They're like, oh, they beat this really good name. But I'd like to see Habib fight some young fighters who are actually trying. And I was like, yeah, this is the first time he's actually had decent competition. And that whole weigh-in thing where he could barely walk. Yeah, after he got off the scale, he crumpled to the ground and then started drinking. I was like, he needed rehydration so bad. He couldn't even stand. I was thinking, man, I've drained myself like that a few times, and I usually do recover within a few hours, so he should be okay, but who knows? Maybe the fight will even get called off. I could see it where Khabib gets sick or something and can't compete because he drained himself too much. Now, being drained completely isn't always a good thing. Get your mind out of the gutter. Right, so what do I want to put for sale in my shop? Yeah, I guess, oh yeah, I wanted decorations for Halloween. I think I only got Christmas decorations though. I had some Halloween decorations, but I'm pretty sure I brought them all to FOMA, sadly. Son of a bitch. Yeah, and, oh, there it is, some pumpkins, good. I was thinking, you idiot! Alright, I'll have to pick some other stuff to put out. Putting out stuff is always good. Remember that, ladies. I'm just kidding. Good to put out. Alright. I'm looking, sir, for some of my higher TT value items that I can put out there. Now, a big shout out to the guy that gave me all those resources before. Forget his name, viewer of the show. So maybe I'll try to put some of the stuff he gave me. Now I actually have room for it. I don't know why, but I noticed my shop on Rocktropia very rarely sells any blueprints. But if I bring them to Calypso or FOMA, they tend to sell a lot better. Not sure exactly why that is. Maybe there's not many people here into crafting, which I'm kind of surprised because this is the best crafting location in the game. By a long shot. Oh, there we are, Blizzarium. Or did I need the Blizzarium for the fucking print? I better check. Maybe I bought it for that. That's probably what I bought it for. Now I gotta remember that come my birthday, I'm gonna be doing the big fucking... the ultimate crafting run. Oh, here's Armament. The print no one else has in the game but me. Because everyone was too cheap to buy it at the auction. You bastards! No, I'm just kidding. No, I have to thank you guys for not buying it at the auction because really it's like I wanted to keep the print so bad and I got offered 12,000 for it. Like 12,000 ped, and I never took it, so selling it for 8,000 would have been a huge loss, like 4,000. So I was thinking, wow, instead of taking that huge loss, why don't I just fucking craft the print? Who knows, maybe I'll be able to prove everyone wrong that didn't buy it. Or I'll prove them right, and then they'll watch the episode and get a good laugh. So we'll see. Maybe Never Dies Playing It will provide for me. Oh yeah, so I was checking the ingredients. Yeah, it is Blizzarium that I need, that's why I bought it. Thank God I remembered before I sold it at my shop. Alright, so before my birthday, you guys remind me in the chat if I forget. I gotta pick up the rest of the ingredients. If anyone wants to give me a birthday gift, I definitely could use some animal hide, soft hide. I have some, but not enough to finish it. And wool. I got the Blizzarium and Danium, so those should be the hardest ones first. And the hardest is the most important, right? Alright, so I think that's everything I got to put on my shop immediately. Unless I got some... oh yeah, I can put some clothes. Still makes me sad that the mankinis are worthless now. At least I can give them out for prizes for the show, I guess. Yeah, I think I'm inching closer to the 1,000 subs. Let me check. Now, first, before we do the check the 1,000 subs, we'll do a roll. 38,563. Let's roll. Boom. 38,578. Woohoo! Let's see how many referrals we're up to. 47. Alright, guys. I can't believe 47 show viewers are helping do those Bitcoin spins every day. You guys are the best. I really don't deserve so many people helping. Oh, man. I don't know what I ever did to deserve it, but yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. Oh, we're at 799 subs today, so we're pretty much 800. It's good news. Hopefully when I put that new terabyte hard drive in my computer, we'll be all set. Now, a lot of the Clone Evolution people are just sending me messages saying they're happy that, or hoping that I get my living situation sorted out. Yeah, just to tell you, well, they're probably not watching this. I'll have to upload the next video for today. I already recorded a new one telling them I got my situation sorted out. Thank God. Now, I just can't handle people yelling at me non-stop, treating me like garbage while I'm working my ass for them for volunteering. It's like, what the hell am I putting myself through all this torment for? Someone's not even going to be grateful enough to fucking not treat you like garbage. I don't know, like normally I vent and yell a lot on YouTube, but that's where I try to get it all out. I don't like take it out on other people in real life. Or at least try not to. Occasionally, obviously, I make mistakes. Everyone's stressed out with this lockdown situation, but... Alright, so far we got no bids on my Next Island stuff. That really sucks. Maybe I can import it here and sell it. Oh yeah, fuck that. Well, I'll import it maybe to Calypso and sell it. I was thinking, geez, what are you, idiot? Didn't you just remember how bad you fucking lost money here trying to sell shit on Rocktropia's auction? It's a fucking nightmare. Anyways. Alright guys, so I'll soup up the chair. Oh wait, what's the price for him? I put him at 7. Yeah, let's do 3 pets. Maybe she looks better on the higher graphics settings. Maybe that's why it just looks like absolute shit right now. Not the good shit. Yeah, so I got some stuff to cheer me up. I got the Shield going with the new controller. My main thing I love to do with the Shield, I don't know if anyone's had NVIDIA Shield for gaming before, like the new one, the Pro or whatever it's called. Is it ever a fucking miracle for retro gaming? Like I can take all my old games for any system, Genesis, Super Nintendo, well except for PS2, it's the one that's having a hard time emulating right now. I should say most systems. And it upscales them to 4K right to your fucking TV for you. And holy shit, do they ever look nice. And plays well. It's a fucking nightmare to set it up, I'll admit that, but once you get it set up, man, does it work good. All the save features, speed up features, it's got everything. Right, I wish I had a torch for some fire effects, but sadly someone came and bought the torch. Not that I hate sales or anything, I'm just thinking. God, I hate sales. Hate on everything, even sales. I don't know, I thought I had the flag set up already, but guess not. Yeah, so I hope everyone else isn't getting too stressed out over the lockdown yet. I seen on the news yesterday, they're like one of the oldest people in the country died, and she died because of isolation. She ended up getting so isolated that she got so depressed that she died from loneliness. Like, can you imagine that? That's a fucking crying shame, man. Especially for a virus that has like a 99% recovery, even for seniors now, so it's like, what a fucking nightmare. How many more people are going to have to die in this lockdown before we get our human rights back? I know a lot of people got good intentions with sort of substituting smoking cigarettes for fucking crack cocaine. It's like, oh, that's how I was thinking one day the government will come out and say 1% of our population is dying from crack cocaine or cigarette, or no, yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like well, more percentage than that, but say 1% of the population was dying from cigarettes. The government said, okay, the solution is everyone has to stay home and do heroin for 2 months, or 2 weeks, or whatever the lockdown period is, and that'll fix the fucking tobacco addiction problem. That's basically what they're saying with the lockdown. They're taking something that is lethal, But substituting it with something that's 100 times more lethal, and then saying, oh, this is what we're going to substitute it to fix the problem. It's like, I don't mind, like, if you find some substitute to fix a problem that actually works better, but if it's killing someone worse, why are we substituting it with it? It's a fucking nightmare. But I guess people are like, hey, it might work. Heroin might be the fucking, or smoking crack might be the key, right? According to the World Health Organization, they say smoking crack will help you. No, just kidding. I would almost believe them to say that after them telling us that staying inside all day was going to help your immune system. Or that fucking preventing your nose from inhaling particles to develop antibodies to viruses naturally is going to help you. Like, you just ask any virus, like immunologist, they'll say right away, person who lives in a bubble gets sick the worst and the most. People that are outside developing immunity by breathing shit in through their nose, small particles, without actually getting sick, then yeah, they have a way higher immune system. Stronger. Shouldn't say higher. So isn't that funny? Like, I don't know. They keep saying that you can't talk about this on YouTube without making a disclaimer that you're not going with the officials, but name me a virologist that'll tell you that living in a bubble is going to make your fucking immune system stronger. Name one. I don't know, that Tam lady, she isn't a fucking virologist or whatever. I'd be surprised if she's done any work as a doctor in decades for some of the advice she's giving. Alright, we got one fucking... But to be fair to her, like, this is a new virus, apparently. Who knows, you might have had it for 10 years and no one noticed, because unless you're getting tested for it, it's the disease you have to get tested to find out you have. There's no way of knowing that you had it otherwise. You would probably just get healthy without even realizing it. That's what the government had started to say in Canada, like, we need a lot of more people to get tested. So many people are getting sick from it and recovering and not even knowing that it's ruining the test numbers. So we have to get more people to get tested. That's the solution. Reggae Ignit. I like Reggae Ignit. Let's put some of that for sale. No, who knows? Probably wrong, and living in a bubble is the strongest way to recover from this virus. Although, when you look at every country that didn't live in the bubble, they have almost no cases left. They used herd immunity and fucking kicked the virus's ass. Slaughter. Flawless victory. Just like everyone that was fucking saying on YouTube it wasn't allowed to speak. Flawless victory! No, to be fair, Sweden did have another spike in cases, but it was after a big travel excursion when everyone in Sweden went traveling. And they said what happened was they started catching strains of the virus that weren't already in Sweden. You know how there's more than one strain of COVID? Well, obviously there's more than one strain, but more than one strain of COVID-19, I guess. Which they should just give it a new number then. Make it less confusing. No, because what is it? COVID is the common cold. And COVID-19 is a strain of the common cold that causes all these problems with breathing and shit in a very small amount of people. Holy fuck. Oh yeah, it's only one. Yeah, it's the smallest I can make that stack. It sucks. Try to price this shit quick so we don't spend the whole episode just at my shop. Although anyone wants to see what it's like owning a shop, this is the joy of it, setting stuff for sale that never sells. Now you've experienced what it's like to have an Entropia shop. Now my shop sales have been non-existent for quite a while. So if anyone wants to help out with that. I forget what her price was. There's no way I can check the markups on pets. Another well done by Mindark. Make it so pets have no markup. Ingenious. Fuck, I swear Einstein would look up to you guys. I don't know, if anyone wants to start a petition, we should petition Mindark to put fucking markup on pets. Like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking when they did that. Oh well, maybe one day they'll learn. Hell, even some days I learn, so if that's possible, I'm sure Mindark can. The markup on this is 0. Yay! That'll sell well in my booth. Ooh, I can increase the markup on this to 2. Yeah, it's not really 2. Yeah, it's a little more reasonable. Slightly over the auction, just for the convenience of being able to buy it right away without having to wait for an auction. Alright, is that everything? What the hell? I have the bikini print? Oh, that's because it's the limited. I was wondering. I can't believe people sold the Mankini blueprint right down to worthless. Well, I can because I make that mistake all the time, but really, guys, it was worth like 50 ped at one point. Could have just kept putting a reserve bid and we'd still be getting 50 ped for each copy. Only 52 players in a game with fucking what, 50,000 people? It's not like there was any lack of people to buy it. Come on, guys, get with it. No, I'm like Biden, right? Come on! Come on! Man, I love that debate listening to Biden. He was so funny. I'd actually like to see him win the election just so we could hear, come on! Come on! Can make it the new drinking game. Now, I can't remember which episode it was that I was explaining to everyone my opinions of what I liked best about each candidate, what I didn't like. I noticed a lot of people were posting on Facebook that we're going to vote for Biden, and they drastically changed their opinion once they told them, or once he admitted that he was going to phase out oil and gas from U.S. production, because that's the biggest industry in the States right now. So if he phased that out, he'd basically bankrupt the entire country. Well, I was thinking that's a good way to get elected these days, because everyone wants the opposite. So it's like, yeah, bankrupting the whole country is probably what people want, right? It's the new popular thing. Like it worked for Trudeau. Now, I don't want to make fun of Trudeau. After seeing the choices for the US election, I was like, oh my god. At least Trudeau's 10 times better than any of those. Man, that looks like garbage, eh? It's like all uncentered. I have to try to fix that. Alright, so we'll make a screenshot for this. Sorry guys, I haven't had much time to fucking do the thumbnails and stuff. I think I've just been picking random ones that YouTube was recommending. Of course, the one day I come here that I need a picture at night, and it's fucking the only time I've ever been here and it's daytime. Fucking ruins the thumbnail. Thanks. It's always the opposite of what I need these days. I gotta get used to the opposites. Right, so there we go. Let's get a quick message from the sponsor. Today's Halloween decorations were brought to you by Crack! Crack! It'll fuck you up. Woo! Alright, welcome back everyone. Holy shit, UFC's already started and I got 20 minutes of this left to finish. Yeah, let me check. Maybe I'll put it so I can watch it at the same time. Alright. Yeah, it's nice. The UFC fights are playing on TSN, and I've got, that's one nice thing about, I shouldn't always be bashing living here. I got really good cable TV package. Even though I never watch TV, when it comes to sports, it's like, yeah, then I enjoy it. No, it's kind of weird with the new Star Trek show, eh? Like, here I am paying like hundreds of dollars a month in cable fees. I have the top of the line cable package. I can't watch Star Trek. They fucking put it on some all access channel you gotta pay even more to get separately. It's like, fuck that shit. Can't believe, like, yeah, if you ever want to shoot your show on the fucking foot, put it on fucking pay TV like that. Even the greatest shows bomb on those channels. I almost think they kill Star Trek on purpose. Yeah, and they're showing Khabib failing to make weight, and then the UFC lying so that they could say that he did. I don't know. I still had to guess that Justin's gonna plow forward with his face, and Khabib's gonna like knock him down really hard, and then the refs are gonna do an early stoppage, not realizing that Justin's main strategy is to get beat up to a pulp until the other person thinks they're winning, and then he starts fighting back. So, or Justin will win with leg kicks. I'm pretty sure he's gonna kick Khabib in the knee so hard his knee's just gonna buckle. Especially since Khabib's a wrestler, man, you fucking take his legs out so he can't wrestle, then what is he gonna do? I don't know. Most of Khabib's fights have been so boring against nobodies. I really haven't watched him fight that much. I cheered for him early on when they were against him and he was the underdog. I was like, all right, let's cheer for this Russian underdog. And then they started giving him all these easy fights and hyping him up, and I was like, okay, I'm not really into watching these fucking cakewalk fights and pretending that you're like the greatest of all time fighter beating up a leprechaun. Not to make fun of Irish people, but come on, Connor's been making fun of everything, so he deserves a little bit of fucking heat. Alright, so what do I want to do next now that my shop is all set up? Let's go check out Club Never Die. Maybe it'll be a little bit empty and I can do some of the AI mission because everyone's watching UFC. No, it's good to see Daniel Cormier is doing okay. When he got his ass whooped again by Stipe Miocic, fucking almost took his eye out. And I was like, oh my god, he was saying that he was blind in one eye and he's gonna have to get surgery. But from what I can tell, his eye looks mint condition now. Obviously, he's probably still got some blurriness issues and stuff. I know after my eye healed, it looked great for the doctors, but man, I couldn't fucking see properly at all. Yeah, but at least it's not all deformed like Michael Bisping's eye was there for a while when he got his poked out by Vitor Belfort. Yeah, so yeah, there's tons of people here killing the AI. Come on, guys, can't you go watch UFC? Come on! Imagine we had to listen to 4 years of come on! Come on! Yeah, I still don't get it, man. All those celebrities bitched and bitched about how they wanted Trump gone. Where is Oprah running for office? Where was Kanye West? Where was LeBron James? All fucking sitting on their ass bitching. None of them ran against him. Any of those people could have beat him if they wanted to. But no, they want someone else to run the country. That's what it is, right? Well, guess what? If you're too fucking lazy to run it, who will? Someone will step up. And guess who it is? It's like fucking lazy ass fucking Biden. Like, send Biden in to win? You really gotta be kidding. Although I think Biden probably will win. It's like, man, it's like they almost lost on purpose sending him in. Or maybe that was the strategy, right? Everything's the opposite. So you send someone in who's like almost guaranteed to lose and he'll win. That could be it. I'd never heard Biden speak before, so this debate thing was kind of interesting. It was neat to see what he was all about. He's basically like Canada's Green Party. And our Green Party is like a laughingstock joke that no one takes serious, but for some reason they're able to be in charge of all of our policies. I don't know, like what did they get? Like 1% of the votes? Not even? And yet when it came to the no confidence votes, they were the ones that got to decide it. I was like, why is a party that has no political party or power controlling? Well, I guess they do have power. They're not supposed to have power. Why are they the ones choosing a no confidence vote? Doesn't make any sense. Our government system is like so ass backwards, it's almost kind of funny. Not that there's anything wrong with asses these days, I guess. I don't know, when I was a kid, you know what was the most popular joke in the playground? Wrong hole jokes. They're like, wrong hole, ha ha ha, wrong hole, ha ha ha. It was like, nowadays, it's like there is no wrong hole. Every hole's equal. Oh man. No, I swear, YouTube, I'm not talking about anything that deserves censoring. If you think that, you gotta get your mind out of the gutter. Clearly, kids would not be talking about a wrong hole like that, right? Yeah, that was my youth. Wrong hole jokes and everyone watching Thundercats and running up and down the streets screaming ho, ho, ho. We actually meant something else for that. I don't even know, why were Thundercats yelling ho? I forget. Did they just come back from the strip club? Ho! Yeah, looks like we got some people here already, collecting the kegs. Now, if I had to say my videos helped out Rocktropia a little bit, unless someone else was promoting the Rocktropia stuff, because ever since I did those videos, you see the rigs and the motorhead things and everything just packed. People selling Sandrunner fuel cell prints on auction. I've never even seen that before. So thanks, guys. It almost makes me feel like I'm having an impact on the game. It reminds me of the old Kennedy saying, right? He would say that every person can make a difference and everyone should try. Probably paraphrasing that a little bit off. I was going to say every man can make a difference, but then I'm like, I'm pretty sure he was gender neutral president. Everyone can make a difference. Everyone should try. That's the one thing I disagree with that. Sometimes when you try, it just makes things worse, but I guess still, it's better to try than do nothing. In some cases. Man, it seems like this guy who's here picking up kegs did a good job. I don't see any. Now, if anyone wants to help speed up the show, they can go to Next Island and buy some of my stuff off the auction. We could do a 1,000 ped crafting trick before Halloween. You know what I think I really got to do? I'm wasting too much time. I got to just fly to Calypso and sell the blueprints that I got. Or at least put them in my FOMA shop so that there's a chance they'll sell. Because I'm pretty sure Rocktropia, I only attracted a whole bunch of freeloaders here. Hopefully eventually they'll build up enough money that they can start buying shit. That's the one thing I was disappointed. As many people as I seen that I attracted to all these free stuff, I still haven't got one referral to Entropia partners. Unless my referral link isn't working, that's the only thing I can think of. Because every other referral link I shared got at least 20. So I'm like, how come Entropia partners got 0? Are people that afraid to sign up to it or something? Like, I don't know, some of those surveys, I was making 100 or 200 ped a day doing surveys for 10 minutes. So I'm like, surely everyone's going to sign up, but maybe the surveys was just too daunting for people. It's like, what would you rather do? Collect sweat for like 6 months to get 100 ped? Or would you rather do it in 10 minutes in a survey? And it surveys about things you like. A lot of them are video games, cannabis, booze, food. Man, this one survey, I guess you're not allowed to tell the survey stuff, so this isn't a real survey. But what they did is they wanted you to try yogurt. Some Greek yogurt, I think it was. And tell them how you liked it. And I was like, well, I don't have any. And they're like, oh, don't worry. We'll pay you to even go get the yogurt and try it. I was like, holy fuck, man. That's a pretty intense survey, eh? They're not only going to want your opinion on it, but they'll pay you to go and get the product and try it. I think what they said is that Greek yogurt was a big business, and apparently it's been tanking, probably with the vegan philosophies. They're all against nutrients that repair your body's hair and teeth. They like, oh yeah, and they think menstrual cycles are, what is it, a toxin that needs to be cleansed from the body. So then once your body goes into anemia and you can't have your period anymore, that's just ridding your body of toxins. Apparently, according to the vegans. The vegan gurus in California. The ones that'll tell you to walk around in fucking bare feet and do grounding while you're stepping in puddles full of parasites like hookworm. Now, I shouldn't make fun of the new age stuff, but man, does it ever ruin a lot of people's lives. That's why I'm so funny that YouTube's allowed to promote all that shit, yet I can't tell someone my health opinions. Like, I'm not telling people to take off their shoes and get hookworm. The fuck? Now, there's a lot of bias in the media right now. Who is it, that Jack Dorsey, the guy in charge of Twitter that's fucking like a Nazi for suppressing free speech? Anyways, the Nazi Jack Dorsey or whatever he's called, yeah, he's been subpoenaed to court over it now. Yeah, so you want to fucking suppress free speech, buddy? I hope you fucking do time in prison for it. Fucker, man. Like, I don't care, you want to create these social media platforms, you get immunity, but then all of a sudden you can't even fucking speak on it? That's fucking bullshit. Alright, looks like the first UFC fight is over. I'm gonna have to watch, see what happened here. Okay, I can see why that fight was on the undercard. His coach, I don't know, he didn't train him at all. He just got submitted by one of the most basic moves. It's like, you know when the guy's on the ground and he gets you in an armbar? And he starts doing that armbar, the most basic move to get him to stop doing the armbar, because you're standing up, is you just take your heel and you put it on his throat. And you start putting all your body weight into his throat. And you're like, hey man, you want to break my arm? How do you like a fucking heel in your throat? Because you're not allowed to stomp a grounded opponent, but you are allowed to press on him. So yeah, that's the easiest way. Or you just pick him up and slam his fucking back of his head off the mat. It's like, why you would just like, oh, here, take my arm. Oh, I'll tap out. Or you could just roll. It's like, if you stay in the same position, it's easy to do an armbar. The guy rolls, you can't hold him. He just pops right out. So, this Joel Alvarez or whatever, man, he was lucky he got to fight an amateur. If he tried that armbar on me, I'd fucking step on his throat. I can't stand those fucking cheap Brazilian moves, man. That's what the UFC started off, it's like, you know how like someone sometimes will use cheat codes in a video game, and then no one else knows the cheat code, so it gives them an unfair advantage? That's how Brazilian fighters made an entire career. They came up with all these really cheap moves that no one knew, and it was like, oh, now we can use this move no one knows. But then they started to all tank as soon as everyone realized, hey, there's easy ways to get out of these submission cheap ass shit. No, I don't know. For me, I'm an old school fighter where I like to see people stand and trade. When they start bending your finger to fucking try to submit you, that's like fucking girl shit. Not to make fun of how girls fight, but... No, that's what I love. When Hoist Gracie was beating up people like twice his size with those cheap moves, I was like, oh my god, one day someone's gonna learn how to get out of these fucking cheap moves and beat him to a pulp. Oh yeah, he got his fucking ass whooped. Serious times. Nah, so, yeah, all the power to Brazilian fighters. They found cheap ways to win for a few years, but glad that reign ended. And really, it was good for people to learn how to get out of that shit, so I guess technically, well, in real life, no one would ever try that to you. if someone tried a submission to you in real life, you'd just bite a fucking chunk of flesh out of their fucking body, and then they wouldn't be twisting your arm anymore. They'd be like, oh my god, a fucking chunk of flesh just came out. That's what I loved about Bruce Lee's fighting techniques. He said he could never really fight in UFC because most of his stuff was groin kicks, eye gouging, fucking real man shit. Now, his philosophy was that when you get into a street fight, someone is literally trying to kill you. So he's like, in a street fight, anything goes. Here I'm calling submissions cheap, and I'm telling people to eye gouge and groin kick. Yeah, it's funny. Now you can tell I get real fired up when I watch UFC, and it's good because, man, if I do my workouts at the same time and I see someone lose to like a cheap submission, my fucking blood just boils and I can like work out like 100 times faster and stronger and not even feel it. It's like that adrenaline or whatever it is. You probably shouldn't train using adrenaline too much, but man, I do. Especially if I'm like trying to do my like 300 sit-up for or my last set of 300, or last 100 set to make 300 for the day. Sometimes I'll feel a little bit weak and unmotivated. And all I gotta do is watch my favorite fighter get beat up, and I'm like, oh yeah, those sit-ups are gonna fly through. It's like my adrenaline just like takes my muscles and makes them like 1,000 times stronger. That's why I'm surprised more UFC fighters don't fight with rage. I guess because you make stupid mistakes, but man, if I was in the UFC, I'd be tempted to use rage. Because when you want like 1,000 times the strength and endurance, it's like, man, my muscles, I don't know what it is. When I get adrenaline running through them, it's like they never cramp up, they never get tired, it's like fucking, they turn invincible. And I guess it's a little bit dangerous because when your muscles feel invincible, as soon as like the next day, that's when you're like, oh fuck, my muscles weren't invincible after all. But but for the meantime, sort of like Kaioken in Dragon Ball, right? It's like Kaioken was a technique that Goku used to make his body like use up its resources faster, but it made him stronger. But man, once Kaioken worn off, he was drained. Kaioken! Times 3! I miss watching Dragon Ball. I hope that new Super series comes back with another season soon. That's really what everyone could use for the lockdown, I think. Alright guys, so I won't stay here and pick up kegs much longer. I'm gonna hop in my ship and fly to FOMA next. We'll get that all set up for Halloween. And then I'll take the prints. I'm gonna save some for gifts. And then Halloween gifts, I think. And then others I'll put on auction on Calypso. We'll see if we can get some of my ped flow back up. Speaking of, my Ancient Greece shares are picking up nothing as usual. I won't even check the price of them because I don't want to know. Sometimes it's better off not knowing, right? Right, so I got 100 ped there. So yeah, I'm getting close. I only really need another 300 ped. Even if my Karaka print sells. Karaka! Karaka! Kraka! No, shouldn't be doing that. That's mean. Now that's what I noticed. Like, one time I was competing in tournaments and people are saying that they owned you in the tournament. I was like, doesn't that, like, a reference to slavery? It's like, have slavery become jokes now? And then here I use it as a joke. Oh, king of contradiction. I was referring to the Irish slaves. We're allowed to make fun of them, right? That's how the media works. It's like, depending what your skin color is, you're allowed to make fun of the person. No, not to make fun of the Irish slaves because, what was it? I think must have been some of my ancestors from the Welsh side of the family. They were probably going through a lot of that shit too, being redheads. I don't know, was there Welsh slaves? I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, what was it, in the old times during the Ottoman Empire, pretty much anyone that was red-haired was a prize slave to the Arabs. So, Yeah, Europeans had to deal with a lot of slavery issues over the years too, but it's funny how you don't really hear bitching about it anymore because it's so far in the past. Right? I can see why modern slavery is still an issue in Africa, so that would be a serious topic for people still going through it. Like those pygmy people that the UFC fighters traveled to Africa to save. Who was that one big, or he wasn't a UFC fighter, he's a fighter from another organization, but I think he was the champ for a while. Oh, and then, yeah, and he brought some other UFC fighters with him that he usually trained with after he got out of addiction issues. Can you imagine turning your life from like being homeless and addicted to becoming a pro fighter and then going to Africa to help people escape slavery? It's like, man, that's a life story for you. It actually gets me teared up just talking about it. Man, people can accomplish anything if they put their minds to it. Alright, let's get going. Alright, thanks for watching the show, everyone. Looks like I got the scale off and everything, but hopefully, yeah, this recording has a better scale issue and it'll actually be 1080 when I upload it to YouTube. Praying. Then I can watch it on the big screen. Anyways, yeah, sorry for making fun of that fighter. I'm sure his coach and stuff maybe trained him to do that, but he just maybe panicked in the moment. Alright, so anyways, Patreon, if you want to help out with that, be sick. Society 6 cool. Swagbucks is the discounts for shopping online. GameKit's to get paid to be a gamer. Hideouts to get paid to watch videos. And Bitcoin is the free spin I did earlier. And I really appreciate you guys. We're almost up to 50 people helping the show with free spins every day. I can't imagine, man. If this luck continues when I'm doing more vlogging episodes, once I get my camera gear fucking fixed, I'm going to try updating the firmware on it. Hopefully that fixes everything. A lot of people said that did. Alright, so anyways, the virtual mate sex machine is for adults and men only, but if ladies need a sex machine, they know who to call. Just kidding. But anyways, unless you're But yeah, if you happen to get any blood from the UFC, spray right into your vaporizer and it tastes like shit, and give the show a dislike. If it doesn't happen, give it a like, and I appreciate it. What was I was going to say? I had something I wanted to say. Oh yeah, and the Entropia Zine and Raven Jade stuff. Make sure you check out all those. They're always helping share my stuff, so I appreciate them too. And if anyone else wants to get on the list of me promoting their stuff at the end of the show every day, just let me know. I think now, once I get the 1080 recordings, I'm going to try harder to get some more Skype callers going during the show. Because I was thinking I don't want to do Skype callers with people and have it only record in 720. That's fucking cheese. Alright, anyways, take care, and just make sure you never buy the products from my sponsor, because it will ruin your life. Bye for now, everyone. See you later. Go gay cheese. Here's 3 things.